Hey, I'm Shannon Permol, your host on Asian Pulse TV. Welcome to the show. We're broadcasting from the traditional unceded territories of Kwantlen, Silvertooth, and Squamish Nation. Looks like summer is finally here, and if you're going out in the sun, make sure to apply sunscreen lotion with SPF 30 or more. Reapply it as many times as possible if you are in direct sunlight. Last year, during the heat doom, over 600 seniors died. So please, if you know any seniors living alone, always call them and check in to make sure they're doing okay, and ask them about the heat in their house. The week of July 10th to July 17th is Injury Prevention Week. So, if you're climbing ladders or going up on the roof, always be mindful of your personal safety. Over 600 people get injured each year, either from falling from the roof or ladders, and so much more. Also, remember to keep your windows closed if you have small children in the house. That being said, we'll be right back after these words from our sponsors. And if you have any business as well that would like to be profiled on our show, please let us know. I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated. I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada.
For astrology service, life horoscope, and fortune telling, marriage problem, love problem, divorce problem, money problem, personal or business, all types of puja and havan. Call Pandit Lakshminath Guruji 1604-849-4872, serving Alberta and BC.
Today in our studio we have Amandeep Singh, NDP MLA from Richmond, Queensborough. He first got elected in 2020 and he's a member of Cabinet Committee on Social Initiatives with the Government of British Columbia. So let's hear from him.
It's my extreme pleasure today to be able to introduce to you somebody who was elected in 2020, but this first time I invited him in our studios, and he is no other than Mr. Amandeep Singh, and he was elected in Richmond, Queensborough in 2020. And since then, right after his election, he won the riding, and then he got sick, but he has never given up. He's back in our studios. So we're going to talk to him about his life journey. Before he entered the politics, after he was declared as a candidate or a winner or MPA, a member of parliament. No, MLA, sorry, no for NDP. And so today we're going to have a casual chat and talk about him. So welcome, Say, be able to come in today, give up your little time.
Thank you,
to
absolutely.
Be able to talk.
My pleasure to be here.
Okay, just talk a little bit about before you got elected as NDP candidate in Richmond, Queensborough. What were you doing? What was your profession?
So I had been a lawyer for about 21 years.
Okay.
21 years, that's correct. Yeah, 21 years before that.
Yeah.
Primarily, I've been a social activist all my life, right?
Okay.
A political activist all my life, and I transitioned that into becoming a lawyer. So most of my law practice was in the realm of rights. So a lot of criminal defense work, human rights, civil rights work, and a lot of immigration rights work. So my firm was here. My practice was here in Surrey for all of those 21 years. Most of those 21 years.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did for quite a long time before.
And you went your degree and all that, UBC and all that.
No, UVic. I went
UVic,
So my
okay.
law degree is from University of Victoria.
Yeah.
Right. My undergrad degree is from the
So
States.
you was born, raised in here?
No, I was born in India.
Yeah.
Left when I was about 8 months old.
Okay.
We left India. My father was already in Hong Kong at the time.
Okay.
And with my brother and my mother, we went to join him in Hong Kong. And I grew up in Hong Kong, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So for most of all my high school was finished in Hong Kong. And when I was 18, I left Hong Kong to attend the University of California at Berkeley.
Okay.
In Berkeley, California. And then while I was there, my parents moved here, so I moved here with them.
So you must also know the language a little.
Cantonese a little bit, yeah. Like
I mean,
Charles
you haven't practiced
yeah.
it
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that
So I do
long.
practice a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm shy.
Yes.
Yeah. So my Cantonese is, interspersed with a lot of English.
Yes.
So yeah.
No worries, no
Yeah.
worries. Because any language, if you haven't practiced in so
Yes.
many, 30,
Yeah.
40 years,
Yeah.
then maybe it just,
My restaurant Cantonese is fantastic.
okay.
Because you get to practice it all the time when you're ordering
Right,
meals. Yeah.
right. So then after that, you went back to university, you become a lawyer, and you've been a lawyer for last 21 years and a social activist, and that drove you to attract you to go into politics because that is where politics is wherever you make the decisions.
That's right.
That the laws are made, right?
That's right.
For
That's right.
everybody.
That's absolutely correct. Yeah, so it's sort of a natural transition from advocating for people as an activist to advocating for people as a lawyer to advocating for your constituents and for British Columbians as a MLA.
Yes.
And so the party approached me the NDP party approached me my friends there approached me in 2017, and I ran in 2017 in the same riding, Richmond Queensborough against Jas Johal.
Yes.
I lost by 134 votes,
Yeah.
and then I ran again in 2020 and won by about 1,700 votes.
So when you say Richmond, Queensborough, what kind of people are they? Is it
It's very diverse.
very
Oh.
diverse. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, very
You know,
diverse.
yeah.
So the riding, the constituency stretches all the way from Queensborough, which
Yes.
is part of New Westminster.
Yeah.
So I cover two cities.
Yeah, Richmond and Queensborough.
Yeah, Richmond and Queensborough. And all the way west to, if you go to the most southern part, number 3 and the river.
Yes.
So it's actually the largest urban constituency in British Columbia. And it can take 40 minutes to go from one side to the other.
Wow.
Yeah,
Long drive.
Long drive. So you have, really diverse community in terms of class, in terms of race, in terms of the type of work that people do. I have a lot of farmland, a lot of agricultural land reserve. In addition, I have a lot of great industrial land.
Okay.
And one of the most fantastic things about this constituency is the diversity of companies that are there. Like I have some of the most leading edge companies in electronic battery technology, in biomedical technology, in imaging technology. Last year we must have all seen when NASA sent up the Mars rover.
Yes.
And we saw those photographs of it landing and the
Yeah.
photographs. So funnily enough, the company that makes the camera is in Richmond, Queensborough.
Wow.
So we have some phenomenal, businesses and some phenomenal talent in Richmond, Queensborough.
So finally your dream came true that when you got elected.
Yeah.
And right after that, you found out some bad news.
Yes.
Or health-related news.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So in May, and again, this is one of the things that I will appeal to everybody is go get your medical test done. Like I regularly went for my medicals, my blood test.
Actually, sometimes the men don't do that.
They
and
don't,
it's very
yeah.
important for the men that are listening today be able to, even if there is nothing wrong with you, medical service is free here.
Absolutely. We have such a phenomenal medical system, and we should be taking advantage of that and getting the services that we require. I was like that. I had no problems. I had no stomach aches or anything like that. But I went for the test, and if you're above 50, they have a fantastic colon screening program. They send you for that. They sent you for a fit test, and they found a problem. And so then they further diagnosed, and it ended up being stage 3 colon cancer, which is quite serious.
Yeah.
It hadn't spread everywhere else, but it
Yeah.
had spread to my lymph nodes, so it was stage 3. And that was, when you get that news of a cancer diagnosis,
Yes.
especially at stage 3, it's quite advanced. It's pretty scary, right? Because, so many families in
Yes,
in
you're
British
so
Columbia
shocked.
are-
That's the one news you do not hope as
No.
long as you live to
No,
hear that.
no.
Because cancer, when you hear cancer, just think of it, it's a death penalty
Yeah,
for me
yeah,
or
yeah.
whoever that you know of.
Yeah.
So we have to move beyond that. So go ahead.
We do, and my mom passed away 4 years ago after almost a 20-year battle with breast cancer.
Okay.
So, and she fought very hard. So when I heard that, I have a small daughter who's
Mm-hmm.
going to be 3 in September, and a family, and I thought, but I focused on her, and I said, I can't I cannot die.
Yeah,
Right?
I cannot
need to
let.
be here. Yeah.
I have to
I
fight.
need to be here for her.
Yeah, just
And
like you
so-
fought the election.
Absolutely.
You voted, knocked at every
Yeah,
door
yeah.
to vote for you, and why should they vote for you?
Yeah.
You try doing that to your own self and peace of
Absolutely.
mind.
Yeah,
That
yeah. So
I have to live.
I kept that faith and that hope, and I had radiation in October, and then I had about 8 months of chemotherapy, and then about 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago now, 4.5 weeks ago, I had surgery, and they removed whatever was left. And results have come back. I've had my CT scan, my MRI, and my biopsy, and I'm cancer-free, so I'm a cancer survivor now. So,
Wow,
yeah,
congratulations.
thank you.
It's so nice to hear that. And so, you go through two sets, either it's radiation or chemotherapy. How did, after you taking radiation and
Yeah.
all that, did it make you sick? Did it make
Radiation was not so bad. It made you a little bit nauseated, but the chemotherapy was quite like it. You get very tired. You're nauseated all the time. So one of the things that the oncologist told me is, you will be nauseated all the time, and you will throw up sometimes. Try not to if you can. And in terms of diet, people will tell you to focus on a healthy diet and this and that. It's like at this point, because your body needs it, eat whatever you feel like
Yeah.
eating. Which is what I did. So if I had a craving for something, I ate that.
or
One of the
French
things-
fries
French
or
fries,
whatever, yeah,
chicken
or
wings, it was-
hamburger or
yeah, whatever
something.
it was, I ate it because I needed to get something into my
yeah,
system.
yeah.
And on top of that, I drank juice every day. I made juice.
Yeah.
My family made juice for me every day with beets, carrots, apples, fruit,
Whatever
vegetables,
fruits,
mint, things like that. And I drank that every day just to keep up my vitamins and to keep up my strength. And that
Yeah.
really helped a lot.
Did you ever felt weak?
A lot of
Because you
time.
never left your
Yeah.
job. You still worked.
I still went to
Did you-
Victoria, I still
okay,
worked, I
yeah.
still have my constituency, I still did stuff.
Yeah.
I avoided big crowds because
Yeah.
of COVID and because my immune system was compromised.
Very com-
But I still worked, but yeah, I felt very tired. In Victoria, in the legislative building, it's an old building,
Yeah.
there's no elevators.
Yeah.
And we have these big stone steps.
to stay
and you
climb
could, you
up.
could, yeah,
You'll be out of breath.
I could, because before I would just,
You run.
Yeah, and we have meetings in all the different
Yeah.
places. And this time I would go a few steps, I would stop, I'd have to go a few steps and I'd stop. And that fatigue is still there. Like I'm still feeling, I'm getting better, but it's still there. That was the biggest thing, is I noticed is my body was quite weak. You couldn't walk as much. 20 minutes and I'd get tired, right? Before I would go on much longer hikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, but it's all part of your body, fighting and healing.
Yes.
And cancer is such a disease that, almost every single person in Canada and British Columbia will either have experienced it themselves or will know a family member
Yes.
who has it, right?
Yeah.
It touches so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
When
you.
I look at you
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I say,
I feel
you
good.
are a survivor, you are cancer-free today, you had all the tests done, everything is out of your system.
Yes.
But the side effects are you also having some numb in your fingers, like you say, you
Yeah,
can
so
button up.
chemotherapy is,
Yeah.
so it's called peripheral neuropathy. So my feet are numb, my fingers are a little bit numb, and hopefully that goes away in a few months. But,
Yeah.
it's a small price to pay for being alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are back to normal, you do whatever you want, you
Yes.
go to sleep, you eat, you do play
Yeah.
with your daughter and do
Yeah.
all those things. Life is back to normal.
Life is back to normal. I'm getting back out into the community,
Yeah.
attending events and,
Yeah.
doing the things that
So
I...
now just say, thank you so much for sharing that, because I
Absolutely.
wanted people to hear that.
Yes.
You
yeah.
know, even if you are diagnosed with cancer, that's not the end of life.
No, keep your hope up.
Keep up your hope and keep doing what the doctors asked you to keep doing,
Yeah.
and just take care of your body and yourself and your soul, right?
Yeah.
So that is very important. Thank you so much. Next thing I'm going to ask you also that Premier John Hogan, he also went through throat cancer.
He did.
And he says after all the chemo, 35 chemos he had, or radiation.
Radiations, that's right.
Yeah, radiations he had, and he's cancer-free, if it's safe to say.
Mm-hmm.
But he says his energy level was so down, and he is stepping down as a premier.
He is. It's quite sad news.
Yeah, it's a very sad. Oh, how does people, I mean, I know you belong to a family there that becomes a family.
Yes.
How did everybody, were you expecting? Or-
Yeah, we weren't, part of us was expecting it, but a lot of us, a lot of me wasn't, my hope was not. I mean, he's just such a phenomenal premier. He's the best premier we've ever had. in British Columbia and possibly in Canada, the most popular. He's just such a empathetic, such a sympathetic man. And originally, as I said, I originally ran in 2017. When they approached me to run, I had originally said no. I said no. I have a business going, and it's hard to step away
young
and
family.
come back.
I don't want to leave
And
my
all that,
daughter
I don't
go
want
to
to leave.
Victoria.
Yeah, so I didn't have a daughter then, but yeah, all of those reasons, and the person that approached me said, okay, that's good. If you can just come for 5 minutes, sit with the leader, John Horgan, and just let him know and talk with him, then at least I've done my part. I was like, okay, I'll do that. That 5-minute meeting ended up being, I think, like an hour long.
Oh, wow.
And, after I sat with him, I was like, okay, you know what? This is a person who has a lot of integrity. I can run with this person. I feel good about this, and I feel good in this direction. So, I ran because of him, really. He just sitting with him. He didn't have to convince me. He didn't say, oh, you should run. It was just sitting with him and talking to him and realizing this person really cares about British Columbians. He cares about people, and he will make a great premier. And those are the reasons I ran. So it's really sad for us to see that he's leaving, but at the same time, his style of leadership was very communal, was very collaborative. So he really let the whole caucus lead. And you can see that in the way that we dealt with COVID, right? Is he wasn't there
No,
at the
he
press
was not
conference. It was the
there.
Minister of Health.
Adrian Dix and
More than Adrian Dix, it was Dr. Henry. If there's anything to do with, he doesn't he steps back and lets people take control and lets people be involved. Exactly. And it's anytime we've had any announcements in Richmond, he will let us take that. So his approach has been very collaborative, and what it's done is it's allowed a lot of people to have that experience of being able to lead. So it's very sad that he's going, but I'm confident that we have, 56 members who are very, very competent, and we'll see what happens.
Did you think of running?
Oh, no, not at all. No.
Okay, not
First
yet.
new into
No.
politics,
Not at the moment.
Yeah.
No, he's stepping down when he's very popular. He's
Yes.
the most popular premier in, not BC, well, he is in BC, but all over Canada. So for him to go when he's so popular, whatever he's done, and the British Columbians supported him,
Yes.
and they overwhelmingly voted for him.
Yes.
And whatever he's done, he knew he made a mistake with that museum, that Royal Museum, because it's not that nobody wants museum. We all want museum, but the timing wasn't right. When the guest price is over $2, $2.35, gallon of milk is about $8-9. Single mothers and all that, people are not able to buy groceries, and the housing. These are the three biggest costs, right?
Biggest, yeah.
Yeah. And wages are not going as fast as the prices are going up. So for that reason, I think this may be a good time when he's so popular. So you tell me, who can fill those big shoes that he's leaving behind?
Well, no one will be able to fill his shoes, but they'll have to make their own shoes.
They have to
Make their own shoes. They have to create their own shoes. And we have some people in the front running, and we'll see what happens in the next few months. We'll find out.
I think more, some names.
Some names.
Ravi Kalon was, to us, all I don't know, we've been watching too many news. He was a front runner, one of the front runners. So he declined, his young family, and he's throwing his support with David Ivey, who is the Attorney General. He has done great work in the community. He had a lot on his plate to deal with. Whether he hasn't accepted that yet, but it could be other people coming, throwing the hat in the ring too.
Absolutely, yep, absolutely.
And another one, Nathan Collins.
We'll see who else does this.
Yeah, he has worked many years in Ottawa,
right.
So there are, and I don't see if there is any women running, but anyways, maybe later on there may be some.
It's early still, so I think there will be some announcement soon. They haven't even decided when the leadership is, and
I think
so
by December.
December is probably It'll either be earlier in September, between September and December sometime is when they'll do it.
So election is next 18 months away from now.
No, more than that.
Okay, 2 years.
2.5 years.
Oh, 2.5. Okay.
October 2024.
Okay. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
So you will. The new leader will have a lot of time.
2 years.
2 years. And his own style.
Yes.
He will sell himself. Let British Columbian know why we should be all voting for Yandy.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, and then these are the issues. You're right. affordability, services, healthcare, housing. These have always been the issues because these are the issues that matter to us, right? And the NDP has done a lot on those,
Yeah,
right? With
yeah.
the tolls, MSP, ICBC, with the speculation tax, which brought almost 18,000
Yeah.
homes out of the market. These are people who had speculated and bought apartments and houses, and they were just sitting empty.
Yeah.
When people were fighting for rent.
Yeah, there is zero vacancy rate.
Zero vacancy rate, yeah. So these are all things that we've tried, and there's much more work to do. And we've seen the gas prices. The war in Europe has not helped.
No.
But I do want to sort of point out that there is something here that's really, really interesting. And if you look at the price per barrel of oil in 2014 as opposed to now, it was about the same. Yet the price at the pump was much less in 2014. So this has less to do with, a lot less to do with the war in Ukraine and government taxes, much more to do with corporate greed. And that's one of the things that we should also be able to address as well. It's a federal thing, really, so we'll let them deal with it. But at a time when prices at the pumps are that high, at the same time, oil companies are making profits.
Yeah.
They're making profits that are unprecedented, that they've never made before.
And especially time like this.
Yes.
And people do need to drive.
They do. So
I say, we cannot say park your car and go take the bus.
No, there should be
because
some,
the single mothers are leaving their kids, going to the school,
You have
from
to,
there
you
to
have to, yeah.
another school to work.
Yeah.
Not
Until
everywhere the
transit
buses.
is better, no.
So we are not there yet.
No, we're not there yet, no.
Yeah.
I grew up in a place like Hong Kong where it is there. You don't
Yeah.
have to drive a car. Transit is there. It's a very dense place. We have a lot of suburbs, so driving is part of what we're going to be doing
In
for some
Vancouver,
time.
if you live in Vancouver and work in Vancouver, you live in the condos, you come down, or everything is there. You go somewhere, take a SkyTrain. You don't need to have a car.
No.
That's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
Because there is no parking for the car either in there. There's so cost. But people that live in different places, we do need to drive.
Absolutely.
We need to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm also thinking, and the day we are sitting here and having this conversation, there is a meeting happening in Victoria with all the premiers, and today, right?
Yes.
So, anyways, and and John Hogan is the chair of that committee, and it's gonna be healthcare. We need more healthcare dollars. We had the best healthcare, even free right now. But if we are not able to recruit the doctors and the nurses,
Yes.
then what good is it? We can build all the hospital, but they will sit empty, right? So we need more money to recruit doctors.
We do, and we've been addressing that, And then, so you're absolutely right. The convention is happening right now, and the Federation of Premiers, and Premier Horgan is the chair of that. And right now, about 20% of our money for healthcare comes from the federal government.
Yes.
In the past, historically, for the longest time, it's been 50-50.
Yeah.
But the federal government has been clawing that back. And that's just been unfair because the federal government gets the vast majority of taxes.
All the GST goes to them.
Everything goes to
everybody.
them. So they've been clawing that back. And so our demand is really simple. Make it like it used to be, 50-50.
Yeah.
Give us 50%. That's, right now, 20% that's just really not a tenable situation.
And especially when our population is aging,
Absolutely.
and we just got out of the pandemic.
Yep. Yeah.
And you can give so much billions of dollars for outside. I'm not saying that Canada is seen outside.
Thank you, Amandeep Singh. That's a very inspiring story. Have your pen and paper ready as we have some announcements and events that you might be interested in participating in. The Canada and USA Khalsa X Students Reunion is taking place at Bollywood Banquet Hall in Surrey on October 1st at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 604-537-5123 or email umagranth02@yahoo.ca. The ticket for this is $40 per person, and all proceeds from the function will go to Khalsa College in Ba, Fiji Islands. PIC Society is celebrating its 35th anniversary on September 16th at 6 p.m. at Reflections Banquet and Conference Center in Surrey. All proceeds from this event will go towards Guru Nanak Diversity Village, and for more information or tickets, you can call PICS at 604-596-7722. Pick Society is hosting its 15th annual Mega Job Fair on July 28th at North Surrey Sports and Ice Complex from 10 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. The address is 10950 126 A Street in Surrey, near Scott Road SkyTrain Station. Bring your resume and hand out your resume to as many companies as you plan to obtain employment from. There'll be over 100 vendors and exhibitors. Come out and get your dream job. For more information, you can call PICS again at 604-596-7722. The car rally and walk for drug and gang-free Surrey is taking place on August 18th from 9 a.m. and from the PICS office to City Hall. 11 a.m. our rally will be at Surrey City Hall, and after that will be at Holland Park, where they will have speakers, education, and some activities. For more information, contact events at pics.bc.ca or again, call 604-596-7722. The Canadian Federation of Fiji Organizations is also hosting its second annual Community Awards Gala Night on October 16th, Sunday. The nomination process is open, and you can email info.cfofo@gmail.com for the nomination forms, or you can visit cfofo.ca for the application forms. The deadline is August 31st, so be sure to send in your applications before then. For more information, you can also contact me at 778-709-2853. If you have any events that are coming up in your community and would like us to promote it, please send it to us at asianpulse@gmail.com. We ran out of time for today, but I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I do bringing it to you. If you'd like to support the show by being a sponsor, please contact Camilla Singh at 604-537-5123 or send an email to asianpulse@gmail.com. Before I go, I'll leave you here with these thoughts. It's amazing how much people can get done if they do not worry about who gets the credit, by Sandra Soani. If you missed our show today, you can watch it again on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on Shaw Channel 4 and Channel 10 in Calgary. Thanks for spending a part of your day with us. I'm your host, Shannon Pramal. Stay safe and stay healthy. See you all next week.